I wonder if they can hear me. Do. Can anybody hear me? Can y'all hear me? Nobody can. I bet they can.
Hello.
They can hear you too, can't
They
they?
can hear me now.
Okay, we're doing some things behind the scenes
Oh,
here, so
shoot.
don't pay any attention to it right now because we got stuff in the works. Stand by. Well, time slipped up on me. We were just sitting here goofing off, and there she was, just walking down the street.
That last 2 minutes goes fast.
It does. So anyway, good morning, y'all. Everybody out there. Can we call the events of this past weekend about as crazy as they come?
Crazy.
Something right out of
Phew.
a crazy Hollywood movie production, no doubt. Likely something that would have been a B movie at best.
Mm.
But the events of Saturday night were a lot more serious than Hollywood folks can appreciate, and probably a lot more serious than most of us can appreciate. And a lot of things are, oh my God, I bet you there's some people who have not slept who've been doing second guessing this morning. The what they call the morning after the uh, postmortems, whatever the analysis. Anyway, if you have been asleep for the last 48 hours, you probably know nothing. It happened at the annual overrated White House Correspondents' Dinner, something I have not had a lot of respect for forever. Journalists socially hobnobbing with newsmakers in the first place, especially political newsmakers, never a good idea, but they do it because they're so cheap. And no, that's not because I was never invited to the dinner. I wasn't, of course. First, I never ranked high enough in the world of journalism to get such an invitation. I did decline invites on several occasions to social events at much smaller occasions, like a party hosted by an elected politician or so. Don't go to those. I never did. I can now because I'm not a journalist. But at the dinner Saturday night in Washington, another nut job and a mad dash for the ballroom, armed with a shotgun, a pistol, and some knives. Once he was in custody, tackled by Secret Service agents. Before he clammed up, the guy said he was planning to kill members of Trump's administration. That ballroom was filled with a lot of those folks, along with a journalist. Secret Service personnel took him down outside the ballroom, but not before he got off a shot. A shot that is so far super secret. 31-year-old Cole Allen of Torrance, California, has been charged with multiple firearms and assault violations. He'll face a federal judge later today to be advised of the charges, which there will likely be many more. Throughout the morning, we'll try to break everything down as of what we know as of now, which is changing every minute. Keep in mind that this is a fluid situation. They're learning more, we're learning more. They're waiting things, we're waiting things. They're double checking, we're waiting for them to double check. Multiple law enforcement agencies are working the investigation, and bits and pieces will continue to be revealed. No doubt, y'all were watching at least some of what was happening. Chances are you saw or heard things that we did not see. I, of course, was on a bit of overload. So if you call in this morning and you've got some stuff and you saw it happening, you have questions, just call and let's share because I've got questions and I don't have answers. And that always bothers me as long as it's been. We should have a lot more answers by now, and we're not getting them. So I don't know. Meanwhile, thanks for joining us this morning. It's Monday, the last Monday in April. I'm Rayford Brown, and this is Live and Local Real Talk.
And good morning, everyone. Bright Monday morning. I'm Lee Barrels. Glad to be here. Phew. What a crazy weekend.
Yeah,
That whole thing, as this started unfolding, I was watching, I was going what is going on? And of course, you know me, I stayed glued to it all night into the next morning. Finally, I had to turn it off because the news media.
I stayed on it the whole time.
They had to interview everyone, like retired Secret Service, retired FBI.
Whoa, what did? Well,
this representative, this senator, and then you had all the experts on the keyboard, all with their conspiracy theories. And I'm just like, okay, I've had enough. So yesterday, about almost close to noon, I turned it off. I had to.
Well, I stayed on it pretty much. And of course, I was double checking and looking at other sources and whatever.
Yeah, well, I kept checking X through the day yesterday and through the evening. In fact, this morning I just checked it, but most of it's all the same stuff. I'm just like, I had to get off because the numerous amount of people that, like you and I, were sitting back watching it all unfold, that had to give their opinions and it was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Some of the stuff that people were saying, there was a lot of people saying that they felt like it was all fake. It was done on purpose.
No, those are the kind of people you ignore. The same kind of people that say we didn't go to the moon. It was all filmed in Arizona.
And then there was people that were saying, well, why did the Secret Service usher R.F. Kennedy out but not his wife? Okay, first of all, they have to get those elected officials out first. They're not going to worry about family, but if you go back and watch
not the elected, they have to get out the administration.
Yeah,
first.
the administration, the elected ones, the appointed ones, whoever. But their main focus is on those people. And there was a lot of stuff about RFK. And if you look, they more or less grabbed him and drug him across the stage.
That's the way you do things.
But his wife was behind it, and then they turned around and they grabbed her. But people were criticizing the Secret Service for that. There were some pretty other moments that were interesting. Did you see some of the guests who just sat down during the whole thing and just kept looking around like,
what else are you going to do?
Yeah, true, but some of them were just kicked back. One guy was just sitting there eating the whole time.
The food is out there. Are you going to let this go to waste? No, sorry, Bubba. I'll eat mine and yours.
They showed a video of one woman just grabbing bottles of champagne and wine off the table to take with her. Well, if they're going to end up pouring it out because it's all uncapped.
If it's uncapped, let's just go ahead. We're going to be held up here for a while.
If I was
You're
in
not
there.
going anywhere.
And that whole thing happened, and then they let us out. I'd be grabbing a bottle of champagne or wine to take with me too. I'd be grabbing the biscuits, the buns, the crackers, whatever else was on the table.
That's why you need to carry a big purse. Shoulder backpacks
There
are good.
is so much being said. It was just ridiculous.
Well, let's talk about the good news.
All right, do.
Rain. We had rain.
Wonderful.
Parts of Onslow County had more than other parts of Onslow County, but we had rain. And, that rain dance we did, it did okay.
Yes.
This time we're going to have to do it a little bit more. So we do still need rain. We need water. We need lots of water. We're still in a drought, and we will remain in a drought for a while. We're 18, 20 inches or whatever in the deficit for this time of year. So it's time we get some water, and this might be the beginning. The April showers may have been postponed just a little bit. It might be late, and it could be late. And then when it comes, it just might come in bucketfuls. So prepare for whatever comes next. The flowers may get really, really wet when they start blooming. So anyway,
well, I will tell you,
happy to get those.
I was happy. Nothing Saturday, but then as midnight, I think it was like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning Sunday morning before I started seeing any rain, because I kept checking, and it was just a slow drizzle all day, which was very nice.
Yep.
My garden looks like they were smiling at
Oh
me.
yeah. Well, I watered mine yesterday anyway, and
But I still have a lot more plants now.
the
to
plant
plant the garden.
sale this weekend out
It's
there.
fabulous.
Oh my goodness gracious! Got there early, got a good parking space. That was great because when I left, there were people parked around the block, down the street, and over in the next county. Just about it.
I know. I was so happy I got there early and got a good
we got there at the
parking
right
place.
time.
Yes.
About 20 minutes till 8 or something like that, and parking spaces were readily available. At 10 minutes till 8, that was not the story. And the place opened up, the plant sale opened up at 8 o'clock, but it didn't. People came in, and there were people leaving because I went over to the farmer's market first, bought a couple things, took them back to the car.
I did too.
And
See
then,
what I bought?
And then when I finished that, then I said, well, it's still about 10 minutes till 8. Let's go get in line. Well, no, there were people already had been in there, and one lady was coming out with a cart full. She came out at 10 minutes till 8 with a cart full of plants. That's the way to do it. You carry a cart, which Robbie did. You carried one too, didn't you?
Yes, I
Okay,
did. It
both
was
of you had
full. I
cart.
had to go unload it and go back.
Robbie loaded that thing down right immediately. She said,
I did too.
I needed these baskets. I wanted these 2 baskets. Okie dokie. I got me a tomato plant and squeezed it in between the 2 baskets.
In fact, I loaded
and
mine
he was
up,
happy.
and it was kind of double decked. I went up and paid for it, unloaded into the truck, and then went back. Had a lot of stuff. A lot of good stuff.
There was a lot of stuff. Well run. Lots of good. Really, if you get there early, it was a great number of plants of different kinds. The variety was there. And I know they probably ran short after about an hour or so. They were open till noon.
Well, I got, I think so. I got a elderberry bush.
Yeah.
I got a magnolia tree.
Mm-hmm.
I got a fig tree.
Mm-hmm.
I got squash, parsley, a couple lavender, and something else, which I don't even remember what it was. I'm going to have to look it up on the internet because it's written on the tag, but it's just handwritten. So.
Well, we got stuff. We got everything that we wanted. And then it was time to leave because we had another event. I had to get to another event. Robbie was coming home, but I went to another event.
Which, did I.
By the way, was absolutely perfect.
It was. We went to the Vietnam Veterans Recognition Ceremony at the Beirut Memorial Gardens. It was well done.
A lot of vets were there.
It was beautiful.
Vietnam War vets, Vietnam Air vets. Whether they served in country or not, they were there. They're Vietnam veterans, or Vietnam Air veterans. But we had a lot of combat guys there.
Yes, we did, and I got to see a lot of guys that I've known.
Lieutenant Colonel out of New Bern was a resident of New Bern. Yeah, that's his hometown. He flew helicopters, and he flew in the early phases. Well, not the early phases of the war, because the war actually started before some of those guys were still babies.
Yes,
because that event was going on in the mid-50s. But we were not involved in it until we sent some advisors over. And then a couple of those advisors got killed, and that's when we sent some troops over.
Yes, it was a perfect ceremony. The commanding general of the 2nd Mordiv, he spoke. Excellent job. And then the gentleman you were talking about, the retired Air Force, he spoke.
He's retired Army. Lieutenant Colonel, yeah.
Yes, Army. I meant Army. I was thinking flying, but he did an excellent job. His speech was very good. It was entertaining, and then the
informational and entertaining. He was
Rolling Thunder, North Carolina 5, Chapter 5, did the missing man table, and they read off the 38 names of the North Carolina military service people that were missing in action, still missing. So, and that went very, very, the whole thing was great. Paul Syverson, the rest of the crew, they did a fantastic job.
It was a well it was done very well. And great location, of course. Beautiful gardens, beautiful park, and interesting. So
And did want to say to Robert too, that's one of our
yeah, one of our guys.
one of our listeners, faithful listeners. He was out there too. Robert, the Marine Corps League did an excellent job. Excellent job.
The gentleman that I was sitting beside after I got booted from my seat by Lee.
It wasn't my fault.
Yes, it was.
I got booted from mine. I had to give it up to the sergeant major. I'm
You
like,
just had to move down one seat, though.
well, I had
took my
you
seat.
saved next to me.
You got my seat. You got my seat.
I had
It's
you.
all right.
It's all right.
I went down and I was sitting beside a vet, and we stood and for the Pledge of Allegiance when the colors came in
Right.
and the national anthem,
Hmm.
and then we and they told us there was going to be a 21 gun salute, and he was
Actually,
standing. I was standing. Well, we were sitting side by side, but when we stood, we turned to the right 90 degrees so we could look at the event, the flags and whatever. So I was behind him at that point in time, and I was the only one behind him. And when the 21 gun salute went off without advance notice,
you knew it was coming, but
yeah, we knew it was coming, and he jumped. And
I jumped.
when he jumped, I was reaching for my gun, but I didn't have my gun.
I'm gonna tell you. I knew it was coming up. It was next, and when they fired it off, that first,
It was a pretty loud boom.
yes, I actually jumped,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Whew!"
So he went on the way out. I said, I know you got spooked. And the gun, found the fire. He said, and he apologized. He said, I knew it was coming. I should not have reacted like that. I
Well,
should not. I
yeah,
said,
yeah.
yeah, you did. You should have reacted that way. That's not a problem. And what I did, I just reached for my pistol. And then we were okay.
I'm surprised nobody dove under a chair or something.
Yeah.
But it was just like you said. We were very close to it, and so when the round went off, I was like, "Whoa!" and then I know I jumped, and I thought, I hope nobody saw this. But
you weren't alone. So
well, that was
the reaction was, it's just one of those things. You
right,
do it.
right.
And folks, we're a couple of 3 months. We've got the 4th of July coming. Please,
Mm-hmm.
if you've got fireworks to shoot off, don't. Just go down to the park. Go wherever there are going to be plenty of fireworks displays to see. There are so many people, like the gentleman I was seated beside. There are so many people out here that have been in battle, not just Vietnam. We've got plenty of those around, but you've got several other events since then and
Right.
continuing today.
Right.
We have veterans from those events, shall we call them, whatever you want to call them. They're here. They live among us. And sudden noises like that, it doesn't matter that it was 50, 60 years ago. They still hear it. They still react accordingly. So just consider
I
that.
had,
Consider that seriously. Just take your family and whatever, leave your dog at home, because these dogs,
poor
they
dogs.
don't like them either.
Poor
And,
dogs.
yeah, poor dogs.
Like 4th of July is usually
Just don't do it.
horribly hot.
We'll continue to remind you, but those are just things you don't want to do. All right.
You're talking about veterans, and a lot of them still dealing with PTSD. And I remember our organization back in 2015, 2016, I think it was 2015, we threw a big dinner called the Lincoln Reagan Dinner. It's a
Mhm.
yearly thing. It's a fundraiser. And our guest speaker that year was John Legato.
Yep.
And John got up and told his stories back when he, served. And they were powerful stories. And I had a couple men in attendance that said that they were feeling the effects from the story with their
Oh,
PTSD.
absolutely.
Had one man that was in tears.
Yeah.
And
John was one of those guys in what they call the Tet Offensive, 30 Days of
Mhm.
Hell. 1968 in January. There's 30,
Right.
30 days of that. He and the whole group of people, Marines, many of them died. Most of them were wounded. And they were trapped in a battle, outnumbered 10-1. They
Right.
held on. The Battle of Way City.
Well, you know, a lot of us don't realize what our veterans did go through and what they still to this day.
Every day,
A lot
every
of them
night.
feel the effects. They could be out pumping gas in their vehicle and a car come by and backfire. And
Yeah, that
Whew.
that reminds me. If you guys know the idiot that drives up and down Piney Green Road
uh-oh.
and backfiring his car, one of these days somebody might return fire. He needs to be very, very careful about doing things like that because some of the cars that are around you, the drivers may think you're shooting at them. Have you ever thought about that, doofus? Y'all need to, somebody out there knows who this idiot is. And it's also illegal, by the way. There's a general statute here in North Carolina. And, anybody out there can file a complaint against you. And if you got some video evidence of it, they will issue a warrant for his arrest. They won't give him a
Right.
citation. They issue a warrant and he has to come see the judge. And they'll probably place him under bond. I would. I'd see if the magistrate would, put a bond on him.
Well,
That's the way we used to do things.
talking about general statutes, I've got something for you, but we'll talk about it after weather because
General who?
general statutes.
I know. I think I know that guy.
Do you know him?
General Statute. Isn't he the guy that rides that horse?
Just don't say monument. We'll be fine.
Oh. So let's tell you a little bit about Weather Radio Wednesdays coming up too.
Oh, yeah.
Because a week from this Wednesday will be the first one. Weather Radio Wednesday, sponsored by WCTI. Guys over there, Donnie Cox and company at WCTI. They're going to be over at the Piggly Wiggly store in Richlands on May 6th, a week from Wednesday. That'll be the first one. And it starts at 11 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. The team will be there, and you can buy some weather radios. They're trying to hype, if you want to call it that. They want to inform you, encourage you to buy one of these. They're cheap. $50 you get a weather radio. Go ahead and add a couple of batteries, 3 batteries to it. Double A's. Yeah, they're double A's.
Yes, double A's.
And get those batteries because they need the batteries in them to be programmed. And the Oslo Amateur Radio Club, a great group of guys, volunteers. They don't get anything for any of this, any of the volunteer work they do. They get nothing. They were out yesterday not directing traffic,
Saturday,
but directing,
yes.
On Saturday, directing runners for an event for Brookview Baptist Church. But anyway, they will be at each of these locations programming your radios. If you want them to program them, they'll do it. You tell them what counties you want to be able to monitor, and they may offer you a suggestion or two. I will give you the suggestions. I'll tell you what I do. I have Onslow County, of course, Jones County, Craven County, Carteret County, Pender County, and New Hanover County programmed into mine, and Duplin County programmed into mine, because we get a lot of crap from Duplin. Weather-wise,
Yeah, it
folks,
comes that way,
don't
yes.
get me wrong. Duplin's a great place, but the weather does come from there for parts of Onslow County, especially in the Richlands area.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, May 6th at the Piggly Wiggly in Richlands, Weather Radio Wednesday. That will be the first one for this year. Starts at 11 a.m. and goes until 6:30 p.m. OTEC, the Marine Outlook. First, for the beginning of this week, from the shoreline out to 60 nautical miles, a small craft advisory remains in effect until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Got it?
Yes.
Don't go.
Don't go.
Today, offshore northeasterly winds 20 to 25 knots, diminishing to 15 to 20 this afternoon, gusts up to 30, seas 5 to 7 feet. Look at the top of your head. Yeah, you're about that.
Oh.
The waves are going to be that big or close to it, or maybe bigger. 7 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers rough, diminishing to choppy this afternoon. Tomorrow, northerly winds 10 to 15, becoming easterly 5 to 10. In the afternoon, seas 3 to 5, except 2 to 3 near shore. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop, diminishing to a light chop in the afternoon. Wednesday, southwesterly winds 5 to 10, increasing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Seas 3 to 5, 2 to 3 near shore. A chance of showers in the morning, yay. Then showers likely in the afternoon, yay, yay. Wednesday's going to probably be your first best day that you can go offshore fishing.
Okay, today cloudy through mid-morning, then a gradual clearing with a high near 71. North wind around 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 17. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 43. Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high near 76. And as it stands right now, Wednesday is looking to be another day of precipitation is at 70% for showers and thunderstorms.
No
and
snow.
So no snow. Rainfall amounts between a tenth and a quarter of an inch. She said it's going to be a repeat like we had this weekend. Wednesday, keep your fingers crossed.
Looking around the county and over into Carteret County just a bit, some of our ham radio friends, amateur radio operators, Randy out there in Southwest Community had 50 degrees on the golf cart this morning, 95% humidity. He said it was cloudy, no wind, and he had over the weekend 0.44 inches of rain, almost a half inch. Ward and Cedar Point, he had 51 degrees this morning, 95% humidity, 30.17 inches of mercury, and in the barometric pressure gauge thingamabobber. Northerly winds at 5, 1.2 inches of rain fell over the weekend. Joe in the Borough, 51 degrees, 99% humidity, 30.10 inches of mercury. Winds out of the southeast, they had been, but they were at that time nothing. 1.18 inches of rain over the weekend. Brian in the Borough, 50 degrees, 90% humidity, 29.78 inches of mercury. Calm, no wind. 1.37 inches of rain. He had, I think he had the most. He got plenty. If you need rain, just go see Brian over in Swansboro, and he can get you a couple bucketfuls. Over in Bladen County, James on his way to work this morning reported 54 degrees, and it was drizzling at that time. Dale in Riverbend this morning, 50 degrees, 94% humidity. Barometric pressure was 1.12, 1012 millibars, or 29.88 inches of mercury. East-northeasterly winds at 2.32 inches of rain over the weekend. Ken in Onslow Bay, 54.4 degrees, 89% humidity, calm, no wind. And he said plenty of rain over the weekend. In Acorn Forest, Will checked in this morning, 52 degrees. He had a light breeze and a light mist going at the time. Lee in Woodlands this morning, 50 degrees, 90% humidity, 30.11 inches of mercury, and holding southerly winds at 4.37 inches of rain. Here at the studio in Country Club, we had 50 degrees this morning, 97% humidity, 29.90 inches of mercury. And our winds at the time were northeasterly at 9. They're out of the southwest now, running at 4 or 5 miles per hour, where peak early this morning was 9 miles per hour. And we had a little over, about a third of an inch total.
Yeah, I tell you, there's some areas that got a lot of rain, but I'm happy for what we did get.
So am I.
For what I got, it was just a slow drizzle all day, and like I said, my plants are smiling.
Oh yeah, plants are smiling.
The grass is smiling.
The man whose world turned completely upside down, as did the rest of his life on Earth, left California last week on a train. Midweek, he took a train, stopped in Chicago, got off in Washington. Friday night, he checked into the Hilton Hotel, the location of the ballroom where a lot of the annual correspondence banquets have been held forever. It's a large historic hotel with more than 1,000 rooms, noted for its large ballroom. It's been the site of state dinners where presidents have entertained heads of state from all over the world. Cole Thomas Allen, his name, 31 years of age. He arrived there, checked in, and for 24 hours, no one really knows everything he was doing. Not yet. They're asking him a bunch of questions about that. As he entered the area leading to the ballroom Saturday night, where magnetometers were set up, We know that he was armed with a handgun, a shotgun, and several knives. I don't know. He was planning to do hand-to-hand combat. I don't get it. Now, the ballroom had agents, they're Secret Service agents in plain clothes. They were scattered here, there, and everywhere, of course. Then behind the wall, which was behind the head table, there, I don't know how many Secret Service guys. They were in tactical gear. They were armed with rifles. They were there waiting for anything, that just in case anything should occur. It did occur, and they took action. Investigators are not sure where this guy or when he got his guns. We do know from his sister that he had bought several guns.
Yes.
And including a shotgun.
Yes.
Don't know whether he brought those or got more from somebody else, brought them with him from California, or whether he picked them up when he arrived. We do know that he had them. His home was searched in the wee morning hours of Sunday as investigators were looking for any information that might shed a light on his motives and, of course, whether he was part of a conspiracy. As the president and his administration had taken their seats, as the correspondents and the others were getting ready for the evening event, several shots were heard. Coming from just outside the banquet hall, they heard them. Within seconds, a large contingent of those well-armed Secret Service agents, they appeared from behind the wall. It looked like a staged event. Near the head table, they took up offensive, defensive, and protective positions. 3 things they did. If you go back and replay, you will look at them. And in less than a minute, they had the president and much of his immediate party out of the hall. The correspondents were strongly encouraged to hide in place, hunker down, go low, and hide under the tables. They did it for the most part. The signal came quickly. The gunman had been subdued. One Secret Service uniformed guard wearing body armor was struck by 1 round. The vest worked. He lived. He was taken to the hospital for a checkup, and he apparently is doing very well. Concern remained, of course, that he was not alone, the bad guy, and precautions continued for a long time. They searched anywhere and everywhere. They checked everybody and anybody. You don't know in a situation like that.
Exactly, you don't.
This could be
Absolutely do
the
not
guy,
know.
the front runner, the guy that was going to, lure out the good guys, and then the other bad guys, they could just unveil themselves at any moment.
That's
You do
right.
not know. I don't know. Supposedly everybody in that room had been vetted.
True.
Were there others? Don't know. They did not know. Then we heard the reporters
Oh, just.
for hours on end. I heard so many bigger than life reporters. These people that we see every night on TV as correspondents, generally, not the anchor so much. In their own minds, at least, making it sound like they had barely escaped with their lives. In reality, they talked about what can best be described as a near scare event. That's what it was for them. They hid under tables, following the instructions of Secret Service personnel, heavily armed, when they stormed the ballroom. Of course, everything should have been taken. The precautions were taken, should have been taken. They got the key figures out of the area right away,
Yes, they did.
immediately. In reports after the shooting, the composed reporters that they were seemed calm, cool, and collected, standing in front of cameras. Looked more like they were covering a red carpet event than the top story of the year as yet. They noted how easy it is to get to a journalist, how dangerous their jobs are. Oh, wow, somebody could have killed me? Well, yeah. Yeah. It seemed like they were comparing their jobs, or perhaps their lives, to law enforcement officers whose work puts them in dangerous situations every day. They seem to forget that the families of our military forces who are in harm's way never know when they will get that call. Reporters that they are, they have the facts at their fingertips, facts that they often scoff at. This year, at least 10 lawmen have died in confrontation so far. Another 20 have perished in duty-related wrecks and other situations. More than 60 have survived gunshot wounds in the first 3 months of the year. To those journalists, mostly at the network level, they are not the most important people in any given situation, but as they control 100% of the news, what we often see, especially after the first few hours, is their appearance in the limelight. Interesting to note how many times the journalists on at least one network pointed out their personal security teams sitting at the table with them. Did you know that Fox News, I don't know about the others, had they had hired bodyguards?
I think anybody in the news and media needs them.
Well, they had hired bodyguards sitting at the table with them.
Well, good for them.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Yes, interesting. And they apparently were known to Secret Service. Armed, I doubt it. They don't do
I
that.
doubt it too.
Yeah,
Yes.
but they were bodyguards. There are real heroes getting killed daily, many others avoiding early graves simply because they were well trained and managed to keep a man or a woman from becoming a cop killer. The families in South Chicago, just the families, the normal families who live every day in South Side of Chicago, in fear of gang warfare where their babies can be killed by stray gunfire, not just on the streets outside, just shooting the breeze. Bullets penetrate windows, doors, and kids get killed.
That's right.
If you want to see what fear is like as a reporter, here's something you could do. Why don't you go rent an apartment in South Chicago, wire it with cameras, wear a body cam, and spend 6 months living in fear without your team of bodyguards? That's when you'll have a great story. Go up there and see what it's really like. I dare thee. I don't want to do that. Those people on the south side of Chicago, they deserve to have people out there, bodyguards. That whole area should have bodyguards.
Let's see if I can.
This guy, it's concerning. He was a tutor. That's what they call him, a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And back in December of 2024, a year and a half ago now, he got the Teacher of the Month award, not the Teacher of the Year, as was reported on TV.
Teacher of the Month,
he was
right?
The Teacher of the Month.
It was December 2024 when he got that.
And I don't know what for. For this one organization that he taught for? CE, whatever that is.
I would suppose so, yes.
I looked it up, and you can find very little information about them, except sign up here. It's great. You'll be great. We'll prepare you for this. We'll prepare you for that. I don't know. I don't know exactly what they do. His manifesto is interesting. He does not like Trump.
Obviously, yes. We learned that.
Yep.
From his manifesto, and he was far left. I will say that.
A lot of folks are crediting, justifiably, the Secret Service for how well it performed when the shots rang out. Many also talk about it, that how key it is today to learn how this guy managed to check into the hotel with 2 guns and get through possibly 2 checkpoints before he was stopped. Don't know how he got through anywhere, but he was living in the hotel, renting in the hotel. So I don't know whether that bypassed any of the checkpoints. You got a hotel, folks. First of all, it had 33 different ways to get into that ballroom. Did you know that? 33 different ways. Can you protect all of them? Can you protect the wait staff? Can you stop everybody from getting into the kitchen?
There's still some confusion over exactly what all, how he never
Robert
breached
Kennedy was
the
killed
ballroom.
in the kitchen
Right.
of a hotel.
He never breached the ballroom,
No,
but
he did not.
still had
But he was close.
one of those metal detectors left to go through before the ballroom. And there was a little bit of confusion. had he already gone through it. But most general consensus right now, no, that's why he took off running, because he was going to run through it. But
Anyway,
when he ran past those agents,
they drew their weapons and they
Yes.
opened fire. I don't know how many rounds they fired. I understand they found 3 or 4 casings,
right?
but he didn't get hit.
No.
So the question, of course, is where did those bullets go? The question, of course, is since he did not shoot, according to the only report I've heard, one report, that is that he fired at the Secret Service agent with a shotgun.
Right. But supposedly there was 4 or 5 shots heard.
Yep. Well, people will hear whatever.
Well, this is the majority are saying. And I think I even saw a thing on a Secret Service where they said 4 to 5 rounds. I don't know. There's a lot as it unfolded. There was a lot of confusion, and with anything that happens like this, you're going to hear this, you're going to hear that. We just have to wait for it all to unfold and come out. Because he had checked into the hotel the day before.
Friday.
And of course, he brought in his weapons and stuff with him. I mean, nobody's going to know. And, this is like anything else that has happened in the past. There may have been some mistakes made. They're going to learn by them, and they're going to do different the next time. Having a big, event like that with the president and all the other administrative staff there probably was not now we know it's not a good place to have it.
Well, they've been harping, Secret Service, others have harped about this for a long time. First of all, everybody's talking about perimeter. You'd be blocking off streets. It's on a street. How are you going to set up a perimeter when it's on a street? Every car, no, you block off the street. No cars can come through here. What?
Well,
how do you do that? You can't.
Well, think about it, Rayford. And it's a hotel. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you not know that maybe some of the cooks in there might be smuggling in a weapon?
They're supposed to have been vetted.
How
much vetting can you do for how many of the wait staff, for the cooks, for whatever?
That's right.
How about somebody planning a weapon early? How often do you screen? You cannot guarantee absolute safety, security in a place that is open to the public. And that would include to the wait staff and to the cooks, unless you keep them in the hotel. Now, there are 1,000 rooms in that hotel. Hello. What do you put? 2 people per room? That's potential 2,000 guests in that hotel. Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
is this the right kind of venue to even have such an event? No. Should you have such an event?
Trump was saying last night that all future ones will be in the ballroom at the White House. Now, you can better control that than you can a public building.
That would be under complete government control then.
That's right.
And that's the most secure area around.
I would think
However, I mean, you've got the people who, the negative Nannies, the Schumers, and the whatever, don't want that built.
I will have to say,
I think that's a done deal, though.
When Trump gave his press conference Saturday night, I was like,
well done.
I think so too. I think it was well done. I was hoping and praying that he would not start laying blame. And
he did.
I think he did a great job.
Yeah, he didn't blame anybody. There's nobody to be held responsible for this except the guy that they arrested.
Right.
And I'm concerned about 3 or more bullets that went somewhere.
I'm sure that we'll be getting it all soon.
Well, yeah, and I want to know more about if that indeed was a shotgun round that hit the Secret Service in the vest.
Mm-hmm. Could have been.
Well, might not be.
It could be friendly fire.
Did he fire his shotgun or did he fire a pistol? The only thing I've heard is that he fired a shotgun. I don't know that to be a fact.
Well, there's still a lot of confusion over that. I mean, it was like...
They're not talking about it, so I don't know.
Well, do they need to right now till they get it all together?
No, they need to get it all together.
Oh, I'm sure they will. It'll be soon. And he has his first appearance in federal court this morning.
Yep.
So we won't be able to see inside the courtroom because federal courts don't allow cameras, but we can watch. There'll be somebody that will have something and we'll know what's going on.
We'll know what's going on, but
Right.
but all we can do
I'll be
is
watching.
hold them on the charges. So
Right.
this is not a trial. They don't have to present any evidence of any consequence.
You know, it's really crazy. Is you go back and look at some of the stuff because he was featured on an ABC News a little short segment back in 2017 where he invented something for a wheelchair. So a person in the wheelchair, as they leaned back, they wouldn't flip over. It would stop the wheelchair from doing that. It was at some kind of school function where they had different students that had invented different things.
Yeah,
He seemed like such a
he was an
normal
inventor.
kid.
I mean,
Yes.
he was
Very
went
smart.
somewhere on the East Coast. So anyway, he's technically oriented,
Yes.
but then he became a tutor in some, I don't know. His background is
Well, I hope and pray
sketchy.
that the people that are our electeds that are in DC that absolutely hate Trump,
Yeah.
I certainly hope they don't start bashing the right side and making accusations, because you know it was not long ago that Maxine Waters from California was saying some pretty hateful rhetoric.
Mhm.
And you know that kind of fuels people. Some people it fuels
Of course
in.
it does.
And so I just hope and pray that, I know Barack Obama put out a statement saying that this type of violence has no place anywhere.
Yeah.
I liked what he said. He did a good job with that. He wasn't laying blame. He just said that, violence has to end. And
Yeah.
I agree with what he said. So I'm hoping that the others follow suit.
I feel sorry for the group that has been screaming and hollering about the vicious assault weapons that we have out there, because none were used.
Mm-mm.
So they got nothing, no ammo. They have no ammo for their argument in this case.
Well, Rick, we're watching the whole thing unfold the other night when the military, well, they looked like military. I guess they were Secret Service, whoever they were,
It's
DHS.
not military. Yeah.
They were all wearing the camouflage outfits,
Tactical
the
stuff.
tactical vest, the long rifles, the helmets, and they came running out on stage and just draped themselves over the table in front of Trump. I was sitting there thinking at the time, please God, let those be the good guys. I mean, when you hear something, you're not sure what it was, and somebody says shots fired, people start yelling, get down, and you see these men come out, and it could have been a woman too. I think it's Chris Collin. And they're all wearing these tactical outfits and they have weapons. You're thinking, please let it be the good guys. Can you imagine how terrifying that moment was?
I did not think it was anything but the good guys, because they
Well,
were staged right
but
behind the screen.
You think about it.
Yeah.
How do you not know that we were being under attack?
Oh, well, that could have been, but it would have been a frontal attack, I think. Oh, Chris, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Hello. Where
Hello?
did you go?
Who's there? Good morning. This is Live and Local.
No, I think he got disconnected. Call us back. I don't hear anything.
Nope, me either. Well, disconnect. Maybe he'll call back.
Yes. Oh, that should be him again. Okay, that's him.
Well, we will try line 2. Good morning.
I would never hang up on my friends, ever,
I keep losing.
Well,
ever.
Fred apparently hung up on you. That's the problem.
Okay.
Fred did it. Fred did it.
Yeah.
I'll explain to you later who Fred is.
Oh,
Well, I'm hoping to be there live and local Wednesday morning after tomorrow's doctor's appointment.
Good. I'm counting
Good Lord
on
willing.
I have something for you to take to your bride.
very good.
Oh, okay. Well, I will do that.
It's
will
going to
do
require her to do a little work, though, for us.
She'll enjoy it.
that. She'll enjoy it. She
Yes.
loves what she loves you too. She loves the program, and she loves helping. And
Tell her to get her paints and her artistic brain in gear.
oh my goodness.
I have 9 items for her
This
to
is
prepare.
simple. It's
Oh,
simple.
she'll
9
love it,
pieces,
Rick.
9
Simple, Chris.
items, yes. And I went to a lot of trouble to fix those items last night, prepared them for her
Can I have a doggy
to
bag?
use.
Well, I will be bringing my two favorite people something too. So
We just want you to come in.
Well,
Just
what
bring
about us?
yourself.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh! I thought you said your favorite people. And I said, what about us?
He was talking about
Yeah.
Shockwave, Lucy.
Oh,
Cash.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I miss them too.
Yeah.
So I couldn't help but getting ready to go to another one. Talk about this event Saturday night.
Yep.
Which ironically, people might want to know that 35 years ago, I think it was 35, that President Reagan was shot there.
I think it was 45, but yes, he was.
45, yeah. I think the worst that came out of this was Nora O'Donnell.
She is ridiculous. She talking about the 60 Minutes interview?
Yes.
Yes.
Of all the things that happened that night,
Mm-hmm.
all the things that could have happened that night, and I have no problem with what President Trump said to her. You're a disgrace. You're a
Yeah, he
disgrace.
did. You're right.
I didn't see it, and I'm glad I didn't because I like my TV so much. But I probably would have had to buy a new one if I heard what I was told about this morning, and if I was watching that live, I would have been absolutely livid.
But he maintained, and he
Better man
continued
than
to be
I am.
interviewed. Yeah.
He did.
But what I thought was interesting, Ray, for you being in law enforcement, is ironic, and I'm sure that they do it for a reason. But they sent Trump, and they finally convinced him to get down.
Yes.
They took him out the right side and took Vice President Vance out the left side.
You want to separate
right.
them.
Exactly.
To separate them. And I'm not sure why the cabinet people were taken out standing up. Mike Johnson's a pretty good runner.
Did you see that?
Yeah. I think some of the confusion is that happened a floor down from where the actual event was.
Yes, you're correct.
Where he ran into the shooting and stuff. But and even the president said, I thought it was a tray. And I don't know if he was really impressed with the mentalist. He was more watching the mentalist go through what he was doing, and it looked like he surprised the first lady with his answer. He must have been doing a practice run or something, and the young lady from CBS. I think the Secret Service handled it as well as could be possible for someone that.
I think they did an outstanding job.
Given the set of circumstances, was it under control? No, it was not under control. You cannot control that situation. You can do the best you can, and they did the best that could be done given the situation without becoming a complete government takeover. Now, in other countries, that would have been a government takeover. Nobody would have been allowed out of their rooms. There would have been armed security, military personnel on every floor. Elevators would have been shut down, and the stairways would have been under heavy guard. That's the way it would be done in another country.
Right.
We don't want that.
No. What was interesting too is when they announced, okay, we're being asked to evacuate. How a lot of people just sat at their table, kept eating, drinking.
Well, that would have been me. I would have been chowing down on that part of a prime rib or lobster, whatever they had.
Oh yeah.
You want me to leave this food on this table? Just hold the door. I'll be there in a little bit.
Snatch a biscuit or two and throw it in my purse.
Leave me a gun. I'll take care of myself. Go.
Well, I know somebody, I was sure a guest of a reporter, so she was eating on her way out. She just took the plate and kept eating. But I had texted Lee and said, that wine must have been something pretty expensive because some were walking out with 2 or 3 bottles.
Yes. Show that one woman, she grabbed
She wasn't
that.
sure how long they were going to be on lockdown is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but overall, I think the Secret Service handled it extremely well. I think obviously they're going to find out this guy has some mental issues.
Oh, no. You think?
No. Well, we can only hope that he does not get. I guess there is such a thing as rehabilitation. I believe people can be
I'm
changed.
sorry? Oh, yeah. You give me the opportunity, I can change it.
Well, the person that shot President Reagan, I guess he's out in the public now.
Oh yeah.
I don't even recall his name anymore. But
Hinckley. That's John Hinckley.
Yeah, John Hinckley Jr.
They called that thing Hinckley Hilton, by the way.
Yeah, and I don't know. Some of the comments I was watching it on C-SPAN is that both sides now are looking to pass legislation to get the East Wing built because they feel like had it been in a facility of that nature,
It wouldn't have happened.
this would have not had no chance to happen.
Nope.
I don't know where our invitations got lost in the mail. Really, you might want to do an investigation.
They all came here, and I threw them in the trash, which is what they were worth.
Tom Austin said the left is saying it was a setup so Trump could get his ballroom built.
Yeah, I've heard
Oh,
that.
so
I heard that before
So
the
stupid.
gunfire stopped. Give me a
And I saw just in the sky yesterday that left chemtrails. Stupid. Where are people with tinfoil hats?
I just, there's so many. The sad thing is this, and I had to talk to some people over the weekend after some of the masses about things, and their belief that the God that many people preach to allows these things to happen. And of course, that's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true. What he did do is give everybody a brain and a right to make choices, right or wrong. And sadly, some people make a lot of wrong choices. This guy made a lot of wrong choices.
Well, it started in the very beginning. They ate that apple, didn't they?
Yes, they did. So, but I shouldn't have gone there. But I think that people, their reactions after it were very hateful. Whether people like the president, they don't like the president, they don't like some of the staff, whatever. You shouldn't take joy in the fact that something bad could have happened. And I saw a lot of that on Facebook.
Well, let me ask you this. All of these, I'm talking about the big wigs now. I'm not talking about the stupid little pundits out there because they mean nothing to me. They're, I like ants better than I do them. And bugs and spiders and other stuff. But because they mean nothing to me. But these guys that get out there, how many guys that got out there that you can think about it? And I heard a lot of them during those hours and hours I was watching. The folks, they were up there talking about how great the Secret Service acted, how great they did this, how efficient everything was running. A lot of them said that. But the very few that got up there to really say negative stuff, those are the only ones that I can actually recall. I know I heard all the others, but the ones that stood out from the crowd were the negative Dannies.
Mm-hmm.
The voices that they're never heard otherwise unless they have something bad to say. They don't stand out in the crowd. We remember the idiots. We don't remember the good people.
That's an excellent point, Rayford.
Disgusting, isn't it?
It is disgusting. And to that point, I'll say this. I still blame, even though that was a correspondent dinner, the problem with today's society is the media. I'm not talking about ours. And people may say, well, Chris, you're being prejudiced about y'all's own program. No, I'm not. I'm talking about the ABCs, NBCs, CBSs, these type of stations that they cause all this. And I remember talking to a gentleman yesterday, and I said, give me the days of Walter Cronkite, Chet Huntley, David Brinkley, where they gave the news. That's it. They gave you the news. They didn't put a spin on it. They gave you the news. And I say that with this in mind. Last night on CBS News had the most touching story. Rayford, in your day, you would have made it your first story. I almost guarantee it. And this is the story. A young girl with autism. And her classmates made it a princess story. Complete with a guy riding up on a little stick horse pony. They had a glass slipper. And
nice.
to get her, she's going to the prom as the queen and everything.
Oh, yeah. It would have led.
That would have led, and that would have had more people in tears. You could have said everything worse in the world after that and to still feel good.
Yep.
But you're right. It's the people, and I don't know what it is that makes us as humans listen more to the negative than the positive.
Yeah.
And think about our show. It's a very positive show. Don't get me wrong. We cover a lot of situations that are going on currently that may not be happy situations. No one's thrilled with the gas prices. No one's thrilled with a lot of things going on right now. Somewhere during that program, we get laughter. We get joy. We get joy on the phone.
We do. We get her on the phone. She calls in regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we have lots of listeners. I saw Tom duty at church Saturday
Cool.
night. And his daughters. One's dancing, one's playing softball. Those are the things that we find joy in. We still have to talk about the other things. But at the end of the day, you can go back, you can listen to this program, you can find some good humor, some good fun.
Well, I love humor. God, he gets me through the day, to be honest with you.
I think it gets us all through the day, so everybody should take a moment during the day, smile, tell a joke, look at somebody that slipped into some water and laugh, and then help them up.
And then throw them down again and laugh some more.
That's right.
I just wish Jeff Dunham would come out with a bunch of new stuff, because I've watched everything, for God's sakes. And he did have some of the lost archives that some clips were showing over the weekend. I saw Jeff Dunham and his. Did you know that there was before Ahmed? There was another one, a terrorist.
No.
Yeah, his name, it was the first dead terrorist that he had. His name was Obama. It was right after apparently Obama, or before Obama was dead. He was predicting it with his dummy, a new dummy that he unveiled, was named not Ahmed, but Obama. Looked like a skeleton of Obama. So, I mean, I just sat back and oh God, I wish I had seen that at the time when it was new.
Well, okay, so I have all the dolls.
Oh, do you?
Except that one, yeah. I have all the dolls.
One of them is living. He sits right here, me.
You said dolls?
I'm Walter.
Yeah,
That doll.
Ahmad, Peanut.
Yeah.
I've got all his dolls. So obviously not the ones that he used, but I've got
Chris has
his
dolls.
Yeah. Chris plays with
Chris,
dolls.
do you play with dolls?
Chris plays with dolls. That's good.
No,
You need to bring them in.
I'm going to
talk.
I
want you to make them talk.
I got to tell you this real. Okay, you want something for humor. So, our priest, Father Vic, great guy, great sense of humor. I brought him one that talks.
Oh.
And it was the old man.
It's Walter?
It's Walter.
Oh, my. I like Walter.
Oh, I want to.
Yeah, well,
Walter.
I didn't know until
I want Chucky.
the priest played some of the comments that he made. That probably wasn't the best one.
Yeah, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, there you go.
I want
There
a
you
Chucky
go.
doll.
You know where I'm going.
I know exactly where you're going.
But he took it very nice, a grain of salt, and he no longer has it. But there's humor. You have humor with everybody. But yeah,
Right.
Jeff Dunham. But anyway, I miss you guys.
All right, we'll see you Wednesday.
We'll see
48
you
hours.
Wednesday. You better be here.
You got 47 hours to get here.
You have.
Keep a good thought for
That too.
tomorrow's daughter visit.
Oh, we do.
And,
Yeah.
Prayers for
You're
Kathy.
going to be great. It's not going to be any problem. Situation resolved.
Yep.
Let's roll.
Let's do it. Okay. You guys
Absolutely.
All right.
have a
Yes.
blessed day.
Thank you.
You too, Chris. Thanks for
You guys.
calling.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll
Okay.
talk about our government for a minute. Not ours, but another one. But it is the government.
Somebody said you look like the
Oh,
Walter
I
doll.
do. I look just like that.
He
sucker.
said, he said, tell Rayford that he looks like the Walter the
I
doll.
am Walter the doll. I've got a little bit more hair, but I'm fast getting there. I'm growing into Walter.
You
We have
know,
the same attitude, but I want to talk about the government just a little bit.
yeah, we want to start some controversy here. Want to talk about some controversy?
I got some controversy.
I
Go
got
ahead.
some local controversy.
Oh, well, go ahead. Let her rip.
Oh, yeah.
Then I'm going to talk about the government. That's going to make
Okay.
you mad.
I've got local stuff. Okay. This has been brought up before, and it's always been a big, huge argument. But on April 22nd, a bill was filed into North Carolina legislature, into the General Assembly. It's HB 38. And what that is, it is a bill that will require all members of the Jacksonville City Council to be elected at large, which will be
No more wards. No more wards.
currently replacing the hybrid ward at large system. The bill was introduced by Representative Phil Shepherd. He's the primary on the bill, and Representative Wyatt Gable.
Mhm.
It amends Section 2.8 of the City of Jacksonville Charter, which is Chapter 911 of the 1967 session laws. Anyway, the bill would eliminate ward-based council elections for all 6 council seats. It would make them all at large. Everything else was still the same, would be the same. They'll be elected in the odd year and they'll be staggered. But instead of the ward system, how we had Ward 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we had at-large seats, everything is going to be at large. And I know there's been argument in the past over it because some felt like that certain areas of the city won't be represented, you know, by going at large. But if you're elected as a city council person, regardless of whether you were elected out of a ward or at large area, you represent everybody.
You're all being elected equally. You have the same number of people
Right.
voting for you or eligible to vote for you. I mean, it would be citywide. Everybody would be
Well,
elected by one group of people.
That's right.
Not small
This
individual
areas, right.
like one particular ward.
Ward
elected with
1.
200 votes.
Yes, you only needed 120 or something like that at the time
To win.
votes to win a
Well,
council
everybody
seat.
else needs a couple thousand.
But what this means, that council members will be voted on by all the city,
Yep.
not just a group over here.
Doesn't matter where.
That's right. And another factor that was raised in opposition to this is race. It was being said by some that they felt like this knocked a person of color out of running. This opens up the whole city.
Well, let me ask you this.
The whole city. Doesn't matter what
Can I
color
ask-
you are.
Let me ask you a question, Miss Political Expert.
No, I'm not an expert.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
First of all,
Mm-mm.
let's go over to Richlands.
Yes.
Okay. They have at-large elections for the mayor, right? Everybody votes
Right.
for the mayor, right?
Right.
And the mayor has been elected time and again and again and again by all the people in the city, right?
Right.
What color is the mayor?
He's black.
I'll be damned.
Well, yeah, he's been there a long time. Mayor Kinley.
Yeah. So
Kinley,
get
McKinley.
off of your high horse and get your race out of the attitude.
Well, the key implications of this is the loss of ward representation under the proposed bill. No specific neighborhood or district would have a guaranteed to have a council member elected solely from its residence.
yeah.
And we talked about that.
Uh-huh.
Let's just use we're going to make this up. Northwoods, say it's District 5, and it's just for the people that live in Northwoods. Is it fair for us to decide who's going to be on the city council just from our district when that person has to represent everybody?
Well, are we supposed to believe that one person from a ward, from any ward, has power to get anything done from that ward for that ward without the assistance of the other council members? They can't do it. They are elected. They do not have any more power than any other council person.
Well, by broadening the voter base, this would potentially increase diversity of the candidates, which what I was saying earlier. So I don't see where race would be harmed. The race factor would be harmed by doing it at large. And
those days are over, y'all.
The bill has drawn opposition from some Jacksonville residents who argue that the ward-based elections ensure that every part of the city has a voice on the council. Everyone has a voice on the council, regardless of whether you're a city council person or not. If you have something that you feel like you need to voice your opinion on, contact one of the city council members, all of them, or go to the meeting, public comment, get up.
We do that with the 7 county commissioners now.
Right.
Those of us who have something, a burr under our saddles about something, we pick a commissioner, and we let them know about it. I did Saturday, in fact, with one councilman, with one's commissioner, a particular topic, and he thinks, wow, I hadn't thought about that.
Well, I will tell you that, I know that Jerome Willingham was elected out of a ward, and he only needed just a small amount of votes compared to what the at-large people had to get, and he was elected, which is fine and well. But him and I have always had a healthy disagreement on this system. He believes in wards. I do not believe in wards. Look at the county commissioners; they are all elected at large, and we have commissioners from Swansboro that live in Swansboro. We have a commissioner that lives in the Southwest area, one in the Blue Creek area, one in Richlands, and a couple in the city of Jacksonville. We're well represented, but you know what? Come next go round, if somebody from Holly Ridge or North Topsail wants to run for commissioner, you can do it because we don't have wards. They're all open seats for anybody in the county. And I think that our county is well represented right now as far as areas. And I just think the at-large seats are much better. And it gives people who really want to get into the races a better chance.
Okay.
I say go for it.
Go for it. Let's do it. Let's let her rip. There'll be a lot of opposition, isolated opposition, but loud and noisy and obnoxious. Talk about governments, though, putting the screws to we the people.
Oh, gosh, I'm afraid. Go ahead.
Let's go to California.
California is
most
not
of us remember
state.
Marilyn Monroe. You remember Marilyn Monroe?
Oh, yes.
You were alive. You were born when she was alive. No, you weren't either. She had just died.
When'd she die?
61, I think it's 2, some 3.
I was little.
Everyone knows who she was. You think there's a man, woman, or child out there over the age of 8 who doesn't know who
Everybody knows who, because you see reruns. And
the blonde bombshell, a movie star, a sex symbol, the first centerfold in the then new publication called Playboy. She was the first centerfold in Playboy. Did you know that? Probably not.
No, probably not, because I didn't read Playboy.
Well, I didn't either then. It was 54-ish or something. Well, her modest 2,300 square foot home in L.A. was purchased for the 14th time since her death by a couple who planned to demolish the building that was in major disrepair so they could develop the area. A 2,300 square foot house that had become mostly a dump. It's just gone down and down and down.
Right.
Since the early 60s when she lived there. Their $8 million investment, they paid $8 million there, going up in flames because the wonderful city fathers of LA have declared the site as historic, meaning the couple can do nothing with their investment they have problems even if they want to improve the home, to rebuild it, to bring it up to standards. It has to be approved by the city because it's been declared historic site. Because Marilyn Monroe lived there for a couple of years.
Well, why doesn't the city buy the home?
No, they don't have to. They can declare it a historic site, and whoever owns it has got to take care of it.
I'd be like, no, you can have the house.
The couple can do nothing. Well, they've already spent $8 million on it. Well, they spent more than that. They spent $8 million to buy it. Not to put Marilyn down, okay, but she died in the early 1960s. No one has done anything about making this a sacred historic venue since then. So why now? Councilmember Tracy Park, whose district includes its property, pushed to protect the home, and the city council ultimately voted in June of 2024 to designate the site a historic cultural monument. Goody. The owners say the move killed their demolition plans and turned a private home into what amounts to a public monument without compensation. The result? They could not demolish, they cannot repair, they cannot build, they cannot sell to someone who could do any of that. They've already paid $30,000 in permits to allow them to make the necessary changes. They paid $30,000
Right.
in permitting fees, all right?
Right.
Which are useless now, along with more than $100,000 in property taxes. They paid the city $100,000 for property taxes. Might be a time for the citizens of outrageous governments to step up and say, we ain't going to do this crap anymore.
It's almost like having an HOA on your house.
It's worse.
Oh my
It's worse than
gosh.
an HOA. It's the city. The property owners have filed a lawsuit against the city. Hopefully the courts, even those in Los Angeles, will agree that government cannot interfere with private citizens' rights in a situation like this. This is just an investment, and the place is basically a dump now. They can't do anything with it.
Well,
Sit there and let it rot. Watch it. Hey, come on, see where Marilyn died. See where she was murdered by one of the Kennedys. Whatever gossip you want to put out there.
What? Raven, California. You know, I have no desire to even go visit
I
California.
don't even want their oranges, okay?
No oranges for you.
Nope, I don't want their dang old oranges.
Tom was talking about Fetterman, was saying good things about the Secret Service, and I really like him.
I do too. He's
Fetterman.
outspoken and he's got his head on straight.
Well, you know, he's one of those
That's kind
that
of weird, not like me.
he's like he sees both sides. What if everybody in Congress was like that?
We would have leaders
What does this say?
that are doing what we elected them to do.
Right.
Marine outlook for the beginning of this week. For our shoreline all the way out to 60 nautical miles, a small craft advisory remains in effect until 8 o'clock tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be a small craft advisory until 8.
Yikes.
Northeasterly winds today, 20 to 25 knots. Diminishing to 15 to 20 this afternoon, gusts up to 30 knots this morning. Seas 5 to 7 feet. They're 7 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers are rough, diminishing to choppy by the afternoon today. Northerly winds tomorrow, 10 to 15 knots, becoming easterly 5 to 10 in the afternoon. Seas 3 to 5, 2 to 3 near shore. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop, beginning to diminish to a light chop, hopefully in the afternoon. Wednesday's going to be your better day. The winds will switch around to the southwest, 5 to 10 knots, increasing to 10 to 15 by the afternoon. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Inlet should be a lot calmer, except you'll have 2 to 3 foot swells near shore, which if you can get through the inlet, get on out there. The water temperature's up just enough to get some nice Spanish mackerel.
Ooh.
There is a chance of showers in the morning, then showers likely by afternoon on Wednesday.
Right.
By the time we start to dry out here again, we'll get some more rain, hopefully. Bring
I
it on,
hope
bring it on, bring it
so.
on. We need it.
Today, cloudy through mid-morning, then a gradual clearing with a high near 71. North wind around 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 17. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 43. Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high near 76. Wednesday, a 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms. That's right now. Partly sunny with a high near 79. New rainfall amounts could be between a tenth and a quarter of an inch. unless you get lucky and have one of those thunderstorms that just. For those listening, watching, for those interested, I just posted a link to a change.org campaign. This is for people that are in opposition to the changes on HB 1038. They want to keep it like it was. I was asked if I would share that, so I did, to be fair. So it's right now in our comments on both YouTube and Facebook. Anyway, we're good.
The former governor of the great state of North Carolina, who's running for U.S. Senate, has gone on the aggressive, you might call it some obnoxious attack against his front runner, a Republican, Michael Whatley. Whatley was the guy tapped to be the head of the GOP he was in North Carolina, GOP chair in North Carolina.
Yes.
And then now he's the big dog, or was the big dog until he filed to run for Senate under Trump. He ran Trump's first presidential campaign in the state.
Yes, he did.
From North Carolina. So he was there. He apparently, according to Mr. Cooper, he's been cited several times, traffic violations, 5 or 6 times. I think they
Allegedly, yes.
Well, no, he says 14 different traffic cases.
That he failed to appear in court on some of
Couple of
them.
them, yeah, in North Carolina and Virginia, the areas that he traveled. Speeding tickets for the most part, and a couple of them he failed to appear on. Now let me do this one. During the same period of time,
Rayford been
I've
digging.
got a question for you,
You digging.
Mr. Cooper. If you,
Okay.
yeah, I've done it.
I know you have.
Mr. Cooper. If you had been driving during that 16 years that you were on the government payroll, do you think he would have gotten any tickets? I'm just asking now. I don't know whether he's got a lead foot or not, but we do know that for 16 years he pretty much was free, because 8 years he served as the Attorney General. Now, there's not a highway patrolman in the world in North Carolina that's going to give him a speeding ticket when he's the Attorney General. Then he was the governor. Now, of course, he had a highway patrolman driving for him pretty much everywhere he went, right?
Right.
But even if he had been driving for that 8 years that he was the governor, no, they're not going to give the governor a ticket. Nobody is.
Do you think that highway patrolman might have sped a little bit here and there?
Well, to get from point A to point B, driving the governor, yeah.
Right.
So anyway, so for 16 years, Cooper was pretty much immune from any tickets, right? And during that same period of time, that's when Whatley, he got some speeding tickets. And being a lawyer,
That's the point I was going to bring up.
Being a lawyer, here's the situation there. He had a fool for a client because he tried to represent himself.
Well,
And sometimes when you're doing things like that, and no, you do ask other people, other lawyers, you do hire somebody else.
I'm going to call him and ask him.
Yeah, we need to get him on the phone. But anyway, did you represent yourself? But I don't know what the final charges. Don't know, because I don't do civil type cases like that. I don't look them up. Don't care unless they get into the other stuff. But he was cited. He appeared or paid the ball for whatever you do. You send in the money for it when you get a ticket.
Right.
And then if you don't send it in, you don't show up in court. Well, in a situation one time, I'll fess up.
Mm-hmm.
Had a thing going, and my lawyer. I was here,
I'm writing this down.
and
What?
the lawyer failed to tell him I wasn't going to be there on a certain date, and then I had a failure to appear summons. Yeah. Anyway, as soon as it came in, I said, "Whoa!" I hauled my butt down to the courthouse in Wilmington, and I took care of business. I apologized profusely, and it was a stupid on my part. Stupid is as stupid does.
Well, it ultimately falls back on you, even though the lawyer messed up.
Lawyers, The lawyer failed to tell him I wasn't going to be there. But anyway, it's my fault.
Did the lawyer go with
Upset.
you to say, yeah, Judge,
I didn't
I
wait
did
for
it?
that.
I wouldn't have it.
No, I didn't wait for that. He's a great guy because I still like him and still use him for anything I need. But so anyway, that was a situation.
Well, yeah,
It will happen. It can happen. So he got 2 or 3 of these. I didn't have a bunch of tickets.
well, it was over years,
Yeah,
and,
well, whatever
you
it
know,
is.
but my
I'm
issue
not
with
defending
it,
him. He should have
Right,
been there. And as a
exactly.
lawyer, he should have known better. As an ex-cop, I should have known better.
but my whole issue is he's a lawyer, and did he not lawyer himself?
And if you do, you
You
have
know,
a fool for a client. That's what everybody tells
I'm going
you.
to call him and ask him. I'm going to call him myself. I'm going to say, what's up with this? What's up with this? But I do want to say something. You were talking about lawyers. We lost a great one
Yes,
back a
we
couple
did.
of weeks ago, April 18th. Edward G. Bailey passed away. I knew him as Pete. I think
Pete
you
Bailey.
said you knew him as
Everybody
Pete.
knew him as Pete.
He was very close to my husband. And I knew the family, but anyway, great attorney. He was known as the criminal defense
He was too
attorney.
great attorney on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, he did his job, but yeah, I was saddened to
Put me
hear
through,
that
Lauren. I
he had
understand.
passed away. He was like 82, 84.
I think it's 84,
something like that.
85, something like that.
Yeah, something like that, years of age. And what a loss. What a loss
Yeah,
for the community.
Lost, very much of a loss
Yeah.
to the community and to the system,
Yes. But
judicial
anyway,
system.
condolences to all the family members.
Yeah. So it's
It's really sad. I was sad to hear that. Anyway, you have a message from Ricky
I didn't do it.
Therrington. Rayford and Company. Here's a QPF rainfall map from the National Weather Service in Wilmington, sent out on the National Weather Service chat board late yesterday. Ricky, we did not get that. You'll have to send us the link because it didn't post.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'd like to see how much rainfall we got. I know we need a whole bunch more to get out of the drought. I don't know if we're ever going to get out of that.
You know, you mentioned the first lady and other stuff. I saw a clip that was sent. I didn't see it when it was on because I don't watch this bum.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Jimmy Kimmel, and I don't know. Does he have desires to be a woman? I'm serious. Don't get me wrong here. Women can be real itchy. Witchy. Let's do it witchy. They can be really witchy when it comes to other women.
Witchy. I thought you were saying itchy.
Well, I did, but I changed it to witchy so you would understand.
Oh, okay.
They can get to be really witchy when it comes to other women at times, right? More
Yes.
so than men are to women.
Can be vicious.
They are much more.
We yes.
can be much more witchier than men will be
Well, I
towards women. Is that correct?
have a better word for that, but
I do
will
too, but that's
refrain-
why I'm cleaning it up.
Okay. Yes, you're correct.
Women
can be
are
vicious.
witchier than men are when it comes to women.
Yes. It's
So
Charlie.
Kimmel, by what I'm saying, must be a woman in disguise or a wannabe woman because he has a thing for the first lady. A model,
Okay.
looking good, at whatever age she is now, I don't know. Younger than the president.
She just turned 56, I believe,
Okay,
yesterday.
I don't know, whatever it is. 56 yesterday?
Yes.
Oh, what a weekend she had.
Yeah.
Oh my God. My daughter had a birthday yesterday.
Yes. Happy birthday, Candy.
She can't hear you because she's out of range.
Well, happy birthday, Candy.
Yeah, we'll go talk about her in a minute. But anyway,
Let's do the fact check.
Kimmel, what is this? What is this thing? And he had said one thing that he said was, which was disturbing because that's a mental problem, I think, that she looks like a future widow or a widow
An
in waiting,
expectant widow.
expectant widow.
Which was very tasteless. That was uncalled for. It said it was during a
Kimmel.
April 2026 episode of the Jimmy Kimmel Live.
That
while
was
he
yesterday.
parodying the upcoming White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Oh, well, that would have been Friday then. Saturday
Yeah.
then.
He said it was during an episode of during April 26. So, but the clip surfaced online days later after the security scare Saturday night.
I don't get it.
He said he said there's Melania Trump, and of course it was all
He's not funny.
in which he referred to her as having the glow of an expectant widow. Now
That's tasteless. I don't care what you.
It's
how
tasteless?
funny you want to be. That's
it's
just
not
tasteless.
funny,
No, I'll say funny things, but not about people like
and
that.
he's a pice of doo-doo in my book for saying something
I
like
said
that.
it a lot about Osama bin Laden and about who was the guy that they hanged that we caught?
Right.
Whatever.
Well, it was disgusting, and it was dangerous rhetoric to be putting out something like that.
I'm just like
this is.
I never had any respect for him, but now I have nothing but disdain.
Jimmy will get on his show tonight.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't watch him. He's
don't
a
care.
creep. But he will get on his show tonight.
Who we got?
It's Charlie, and he'll start crying, and he'll apologize. I didn't mean it like it sounded, just like the remarks he made about Charlie Kirk. He didn't mean it like it sounded, you piece of doo-doo.
Yep.
Piece of doo-doo.
Hey, Charlie.
Hello, Charlie. Well,
what is going on? This is twice now. This line has not worked.
could be line one. I'm just doing a fact.
Obviously is line one. Charlie, call back. I'll buzz busy out this line. Thank you.
Well, okay.
Aha.
Saw that rain we had.
Line one is not feeding through at all.
Okay.
I'll fix it as soon as we get Charlie on the air here.
Fix it. That's right. And there's Charlie calling back.
I know what to do with it, though. So unplug it and shoot it again. Hey,
Oh,
Charlie.
okay.
Is this better?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
How are you?
So I had no intention of calling, and I was just going to listen to your show today. I was making some eggs or whatever, and I'm like just puttering around my little place, and all of a sudden I hear you say something about, does Jimmy Kimmel want to be a woman?
Got your attention, didn't it?
It just made me laugh, because that's the last thing I would expect to hear you say.
Well-
and then I was thinking about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, yeah.
You know, he's had a lot of plastic surgery, and I think if you're
Here we go. Charlie, we're on the same page.
No, but I just think it's weird if you go to him, like, there's so much about him. You go back maybe 20 years back and you look at him now, I think what man goes to a plastic surgeon and says, listen, I want to be younger, I want to be youthful, can you please tighten my skin? Don't you just like accept it? And because you basically want to look pretty, I want to be so pretty.
I'm so
Who's saying that
pretty. I'm so pretty.
I had $1 million.
So why would you want to be pretty? You're a man. I mean, go work out, maybe start drinking lots of water.
Uh-huh.
It's so bizarre. Like, I think I may have brought this up. I'll make this a quick conversation. But Jimmy Kimmel used to be on a show with Adam Carolla called The Man Show. And it was basically those men just getting drunk. Maybe back then he was very conservative. I think I've talked about this before, but there's, did I bring up how Jimmy Kimmel used to dress in blackface?
What? No, you did not.
Let me see.
If you go on YouTube and you type in Jimmy Kimmel blackface, about 10 years ago, he portrayed Oprah Winfrey as a heavy-set black woman dressed in blackface, jumping on her Mexican maid. And then he started talking as Karl Malone. He's a black basketball player that used to play for the Utah Jazz. And his vernacular, the way he spoke, it wasn't the clearest. And so Jimmy Kimmel dressed as a black man. He's like, but see, that's accepted then. But now, for some reason, it's all forgotten. But here's my point. You guys, obviously, did you watch that interview with 60 Minutes when they interviewed President Trump?
I only saw a few minutes of it. I haven't gone back and watched
they
the
opened
whole
up
thing.
they opened up saying basically he called you a child molester and a
Pedophile.
racist. That's how they opened up the interview with him.
Right.
Yep.
It's just baiting. It's just basically giving more fuel. And Barry Obama, Hussein Obama, I like what he said because he knew he read what the attempted assassinator had said. He goes,
And he said this yesterday, April 26th at 2:15 p.m. Although we don't yet have the details about the motives behind last night's shooting at the White House Correspondents' Center, it's incumbent upon all of us to reject the idea that violence has any place in our democracy. The guy literally wrote about wanting to kill Trump. It's just sickening. And people are falling for this, and it's just going to fuel the fire. Nothing is going to change.
Nope.
I just hate the fact that these liberal limousine lunatics, the fact that this guy wanted to kill President Trump, and the first thing that comes to my mouth was, well, so are you a pedophile, a child molester? It's like, why ask that question? They play along with it. I know that CBS has a new director, a new head of their news that took over, and a lot of people, she fired, I guess, a lot of people. I guess she's very conservative, but man, that's not the conservative road that reporter took with Trump. It is sad. I don't know. I was thinking earlier, let's just divide the country. Let half take one way, half take the other way. Just put up a million border wall, and let's just all live our own lives. Let's see which lives advance the best. Although that's ridiculous and goofy, but it is really sad. I heard your caller earlier who was talking about Walter Cronkite or older news people from the 40s and 50s and 60s. Yeah.
Walter,
that's what news is supposed to be. You're not supposed to have an opinion.
Yeah.
You're just supposed to report it. Right. But anyway, you cracked me up with Jimmy Kimmel as a woman. Maybe I still laugh. I'm going to go back and watch what you said. It made me laugh.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie.
And
later.
And the fact on the blackface, on June 23rd, 2020, Jimmy Kimmel he responded to complaints over his appearances in blackface dating back decades, including impersonations of NBA star Karl Malone and other black celebrities. So he apologized for that. But the comments he made about Melania were Friday night on his show Friday night, one day before the actual shooting happened. So it's going to be exciting because ABC gave him a second chance after his comments about Charlie Kirk. Of course, he got on and cried and apologized. He had gotten suspended for a little while, but then they put his show back on. So we'll see what happens with this one. I just think that, nighttime show hosts, they talk politics and they make fun of the president, regardless of who the president is. But Jimmy Kimmel has Trump derangement syndrome.
He's bad.
He's hateful. And the remarks that he made Friday night on his show about Melania being having a glow of an expected widower.
I go back to Johnny Carson.
Yes,
Johnny Carson had
Johnny Carson.
The National Enquirer had a thing for Carson.
Yes.
Okay. They went after him, and he just laughed it off. And I don't even think he acknowledged it. He probably did on TV during his monologues from time to time. I would stay up, and when the monologue was over, that was my bedtime.
Right.
In those days.
Yes.
I would stay up for the monologue, but one night he got on. He came out. He says, "I'm not going to be funny." And then he tore into the National Enquirer. Why? He called them every name in the book that he could get away with on TV in those days.
Right.
He libeled himself. He slandered them like you've never seen before. He called them what they were, except couldn't use the right words. And he said, "Go ahead and sue me. Come after me all you want." But they had done some kind of a hit piece on his wife. Oh. He said, "If you do that, the war is on," or words to that effect. And then he tore them around, brand new. You could have driven a tractor trailer through what he left them with.
Right.
You understand what I'm talking about? What he tore them a brand new one.
Yeah.
And he did it. Not even with finesse, but he did it with one of those voices and a look at the camera like, "I can kill you." Oh. And I mean every word of it.
And you're sitting there going like, "Whoa.
Go, Johnny, go. Go, Johnny, go." That's my kind of man.
Thomas says Kimmel hates Trump and all Republicans. Yeah, that's obvious. We know that.
Johnny Carson became my hero at that point in time.
I just think these nighttime television shows, etc., they should be about entertainment, not this political hatred. So tired of it. Now, Jimmy Fallon, he'll make jokes, but they're good. They're funny jokes. He's not going after anyone in this Steve Collin. I just quit watching Jimmy Kimmel a long time ago.
Okay, let's see if I got the line one fixed. Steve, are you there?
Steve, are you there?
Hey, I did it.
See?
Give me a high five.
You're so good.
I unplugged and plugged it back in.
So what are your thoughts, Steve?
What are my thoughts?
Yes.
Thank
About
goodness for
what?
the rain. That's what he's thinking.
Yeah. Thankful for the rain. About anything you want to, your opinions on what happened Saturday night. Did you keep up with that?
I've caught bits and pieces of it. The only thing that I guess stood out to me that I would comment on is that I found it odd that they snatched J.D. Vance off the stage and it was 8 seconds later before they moved the president. That struck me as kind of odd. You thought it would have been reversed, but that was just, I ain't saying there's anything to that. It struck me as odd, that they just grabbed him, snatched him, and ran away with him. And then, it took several seconds before they even stood the president up or tried to move him.
If you look at it, they had the president covered for the most part with people. Vance, they snatched and he just ran, and he was in the open. He was in the open, but they had to put a team. They had to put a team in place, to be honest with you, to move the president.
Yeah, I've seen that as well, and I watched it several times in several different angles, and it wasn't until they were, had enough people there that they could completely surround him that they moved him. So I would agree with that. That's the logic I was trying to apply to it, but it still was an interesting optic to see them, so quickly snatch the vice president up and move him out, and then, taking several seconds. I would say that would be something that I would go back and revisit and, maybe try and put some plans in place to do that differently.
Well, did they not, Rayford?
And that's just my opinion. I ain't, I ain't down to the Secret Service,
That's a good point.
Being J.D. Vance and a background that he's got, he's got a little bit of background. I would think that he's probably going to get up and get out of the way. So he was moving a lot on his own.
Yeah, and I'd also be willing to admit that all plans go out the window once gunfire starts.
Yep.
So
I mean, I can see me in Vance's position. Said, "Would you give me one of your guns and let me get out of here?"
No, refresh my memory. Didn't they come up on stage from the area that JD was sitting? They came
from multiple directions.
Well, then there was a couple guys in suits that went and surrounded the president until they got the rest of the team up there to haul him out. So,
they didn't actually surround him, and they still line of sight from the cameras to Trump. That struck me as odd.
Oh, I saw him go down. Did you see Trump go down to his knees?
Line of fire. It seemed like that they had a very casual approach to the president compared to what they did to J.D. Vance. That's what stood out as odd to me.
Okay, I didn't see it that way, but
I mean, like I say, the one guy with the white hair came up, stood behind Trump, and stood there for several seconds, and then the SWAT team came in, and the one guy jumped across the table, and when they got him up to move him, that the lady that was there in the gold dress or whatever, they kind of pushed her to the side, and the Secret Service agent got in that spot for a lot of
they did. She's the president of the Correspondence Association or something like that. That's why she was
the one leading the big ranger.
Yes.
Okay.
And I noticed
I wasn't familiar with it.
when they hauled him out of there, she was like, wait. And but then finally they reached around and grabbed her. But, their first priority is the president and all the other administration leaders that we have there. And somebody was making fun of the fact that Kash Patel ducked when the first shot went off. Wouldn't you duck? Rayford, if you were sitting there and shots went off, wouldn't you kind of duck first? I mean, I did Saturday.
I didn't duck. I reached, but I did.
Well, that brings to mind.
And reached for him.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't really pay attention to silly comments like that.
No, they are silly.
Resume does not strike me as one that would make him, not flinch.
Well, what are your thoughts on the shooter?
I don't really know. I don't know enough about him yet. I I guess I'm an odd duck. I like to wait till some facts, get established before I start trying to form an opinion. There's a lot of stuff out there right now.
Yep.
Yeah, there certainly is.
I tend to wait for the noise and the clamor to settle down a little bit before I start trying to form an opinion.
Wait long enough, you'll find plenty of clamor to pick up on. You can, any kind you want.
But do you feel like this actually happened, or do you feel like it was staged? A lot of people are saying they feel like it was staged.
I've heard that, and I think that's a fool's comment at this point to make any claim about anything.
I agree.
It's way too early. You have to apply a lot of speculation to get to any of those conclusions.
A lot of speculation.
So, I wouldn't do that.
Right.
As far as people on the left that are making comments, ridiculous comments or whatever, I don't agree with that. I understand how people find that somewhat offensive, but I also found the way that people at the leadership level handled Nancy Pelosi's husband being attacked. That's the people who have brought this to our politics, who have brought this kind of behavior to the table. I'm not going to say who they were. You know who they were. To me, there's a difference between the far fringes making silly comments and people at the top making ridiculous comments. So that's kind of where I'm at.
I don't even recall what comments were made about.
Donald Trump Jr. posted a picture of a pair of underwear and a hammer and said that was going to be his Paul Pelosi Halloween costume, and then it got circulated all through the right wing. All of them laughing about it, making jokes about Paul Pelosi being attacked.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump shared it. It was right up there at the top. The leadership of the Republican Party was,
for whatever reason, I don't pay attention for all
I
that stuff.
get it, but y'all know me long enough, talk to me enough to know that hypocrisy gets in my crawl.
Mm-hmm.
The rules apply to everybody the same to me. But I said it back then. They were contaminating our politics. They were bringing bad things into our politics, just like cursing on TV. We used to not do that.
Nope.
Absolutely.
But the MAGA movement has brought that to the forefront. So
I wouldn't say it's just a MAGA movement. I think it's people in general.
Well, I mean, everybody's doing it now. Right, left, and center. But I believe Donald Trump was the first president to drop an F-bomb on live TV. Correct me if I'm wrong. So anyway, I can go down that road, 100 miles.
Right.
Let's back up. I didn't even talk about any of that this morning.
Okay, how's your garden?
I'll talk about the plant sale.
All right.
Saturday. Rayford, I'm pretty sure I've seen you, but you pulled a Houdini on me. You disappeared.
What time did you
you
get
wearing
there?
a blue or green shirt and Bobby had on a floppy hat? Am I
Yes.
correct?
She had on the floppy hat. I don't remember what I was wearing. What was I wearing?
I got you. And I think I
A
parked
red
almost
shirt.
right beside you. Your vehicle's
Live
got
and
the
local.
antennas all there on the back, right?
Yeah, that's mine.
Oh,
That's
wait.
mine.
Yeah.
I was parked two over from him.
Nobody track you down.
Let's see. I changed shirts after that.
Oh, okay, that's
okay.
right.
Yeah. I don't know what color I was wearing. It's probably blue or
I
green
think it
or
was blue.
yellow or
Yeah,
orange.
you were walking back from the parking lot. I thought you were already in there because I had seen your Jeep, and I was in the building.
I made a
and
couple of
figured-
trips back and
Okay, I
forth.
figured you'd make it to me, and I never seen you, and I walked around for another 15, 20 minutes trying to figure out how I lost you. And then I think
Were you at the
vehicle
plant
was gone.
at the time? Were you at the plant sale when you saw me, or were you in the farmer's market?
I'm not sure.
Were you under the shed, or you were in the sunlight?
When I saw you, I was in the shed.
Okay, that's where I was. I went in there and I bought some things, and I came out. Then I went to the plant sale because I went in early there, and then I came back to the farmer's market after I finished the plant sale.
Okay, that's where I lost you then, when you came back in the farmer's market.
Okay,
Yeah.
I made 2 trips in there and a couple of trips around the plant sale.
Yeah,
I
I
got-
must
I
have
got-
just missed you
Yeah,
because I was
Yeah.
parked two over from Rayford, and I had got my plants, loaded them up, and then went into the farmer's market and shopped a little bit. See my
It was
necklace I
busy.
bought? See my
It
necklace
was
I
busy
bought?
there.
Yes, it was.
I get a little anxiety when it's crowded like that. And everybody's trying to look at the same thing.
Uh-huh.
So I just I walked around. I went over there. Did you see where they had they were growing grass, teaching the kids?
Yeah.
The little
Yes.
thing over there in the park there. I was over there by that. That's probably where I lost you when I went over there for a minute. But
That's a beautiful garden if you ever get a
is.
chance to, when it's not crowded like any day, because it's wide open. There's no admission. Just get out and walk around that thing and take your time and look at some. They've got some information about the various plants that are seen there and the stuff that's growing naturally and whatever. They keep it. It looks good. The Discovery Garden.
And you know what else they added?
It's just fun to take some kids through there.
They added the bulldog.
They did put
You
a
know,
bulldog
they
up.
put a bulldog out
Wow.
there. I took pictures of the bulldog. Way to go.
it looked like it was a big success, though. I mean, there was people just toting plants out of there.
Oh,
Oh
yes.
my God!
Lots of
Well,
You see my
by the
wagon?
time I got in, because I was killing time in the farmer's market looking for stuff, because I was there early, and by the time I walked around there, it was 7:45, and there were people coming out of the plant sale with their carts full. I'm like, holy crap! I'm late, and I'm early.
Yeah, I was a little late too. I didn't get there till like 10 after 8. My grandson had a
Oh, still
bowling
there.
tournament in Raleigh,
Yeah.
so I seen them off before I headed that way.
Well, I was wrapping up by about 8:20, 8:25. I was mobile and leaving.
Yeah, you were gone about then because I noticed his Jeep was gone. I was like, well, I know he ain't here now.
Yep. I'll be gone.
I didn't get no plants, so I wound up getting a big flat of strawberries. Though they're delicious, and I don't even like strawberries. I got them from my wife,
Oh,
but I
nice.
tried one.
I should have gotten some because my wife makes a strawberry shortcake. It is there to kill for.
I got
I'll
some
tell you what.
potatoes and
She does
onions.
the little biscuit type thing. She does it from scratch, and it's like wow,
Mm.
whipped cream.
I got potatoes, onions, and cabbage. That's what I got when I went inside. So good.
But yeah, I was gonna get me something. They had some long red cayenne there,
Oh, yeah.
but
Yes.
for some reason those plants were like itty bitty compared to everything else. They were only an inch or two tall,
Really?
and I was a little skeptical over that size, So I didn't wind up getting any of them.
Wow.
And what kind of plants were they?
They were long cayenne. Now, what I normally get is called dragon red cayenne,
Yeah.
and it's a long one. I don't know if that's what particular kind they had, but they just had long cayenne is what they had written.
I don't know. Oh,
But typically cayenne peppers go about 4 to 6 inches long,
yeah,
and
right.
the dragon red grows like 9 to 10 inches long.
Yeah, I've seen those.
So I think
Yeah, I got some mild plants. I got one
I
jalapeno.
have so
and the
much to
rest of them are
plant
are
when I get
kind of
home.
half sweet type
Right.
things.
mine is only hot pepper I grow. Everything else is a bell or banana or
I like.
macaroni.
Right.
I love sweet banana peppers.
I can
Yeah,
eat
boy.
some of those, yes. I love red peppers, but I developed a reaction to them over the years, and not a pleasant reaction because
It was
it's always
caused by
blisters on my face.
Pepper spray she used to get.
That's not true.
They've got a banana pepper out. I've seen it on YouTube. It's
Yes.
a stuffing sweet banana pepper, and I can't remember what the name of it is right off the top of my head, but they grow like between 8 to 12 inches long,
Oh, really?
and they're like 2 inches in diameter. So you can take, cut them in half, stuff them. And so that's something I'm
Steroids
trying to
on
get locked on too.
Right.
But I'm going to try to get locked in on them for next year, see if I can get some of them seeds. I think you have to get them from Baker's Creek.
Okay.
So, but yeah. But other than that, how's your garden doing?
It's looking good. I planted about a week later than you did, but the tomatoes are looking good. I got cages around everything. The peppers are looking good. Cucumbers are coming right along. I'm waiting for just about any time now. They're going to start shooting out some little stringers. I've got the some hog wire run for them to grow up on. Yourself. I heard that. And then I've got some zucchini that are growing.
I can't
Everything's
find
looking
any
pretty good right now.
zucchini.
Yeah, mine looks as pretty as a picture. And I told my wife that I said, now I just got bugs, fungus, and Mother Nature. If they'll cooperate with me, I might have a good harvest.
There you go.
Right about now is the time you got to worry about them. And I sprayed my tomatoes the other day with some 7-dust spray. Just
Already?
to see. Yeah, I did it
Wow.
because I saw some little dark stuff on the bottom leaves of a couple of them. I said, "Uh-oh,
I'm
let
going
me
to
do
blow
it.
them all up.
Let me do it." So
Yeah, I've got some, and I've been looking because I've got the little white moths. They're called a butterfly, but I forget what they're called. But it's a
No.
little tiny white moth-looking thing,
Mhm.
and I think their eggs hatch or aphids. I'm not sure.
okay.
But there's some little bug from them white butterflies that gets on that hatches and gets on your plants. So
All
I've
right.
seen them all over the garden.
I washed them off and then I sprayed them.
Very
Yeah,
good.
I'm apprehensive about
Okay.
spraying my garden with anything because I
Me
have
too.
so many lizards, and the lizards
Yeah.
are so beneficial.
I know, but I like my tomatoes and I want some good tomatoes this year.
Oh yeah. That's what I was thinking. The same thing, that I might just go underneath my tomato plants and spray them and not
Yep.
hit everything. But
Now, I don't. The 7-dust covers everything, so I got 7-dust spray they call it, and
Right.
I'm gonna try that and see how that works out.
yeah. Are you doing any of the clay this year?
I don't know yet. I'm going to have to wait and see. I probably am going to do it around the stalks of the zucchini and probably the cucumbers as well, but especially the zucchini. I did not do any yellow squash this year.
I did
I've
yellow
had
squash.
such awful luck with yellow squash.
I can't find any zucchini plants.
Well, get seeds and plant the dang things, girl.
Oh, God, that's a lot of
I was
work.
gonna say, come on down to Cedar Point there to Redfern.
Redferns.
I've seen zucchini in there, or they probably got them at S&H too before.
Yeah,
you
they
get
got 'em
there.
at S&H.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Huh.
All right, guys. Well, I
Steve,
appreciate your time this morning.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Y'all have a blessed day.
Thank
You too. Well, I've got 2 messages here I want to
I
read
didn't
from
do it.
listeners.
Okay.
One is going back to talking about the president being taken out of the room and the VP. And this listener said, which I understand completely, wouldn't want to move both the president and the VP at the same time or the same routes in the event of an explosive device, other threat down the egress route, you know. And then he said, better to move one and secure in place the other until the first one is clear, especially if there's only one route, physical or by threat in and out, which that all makes a lot of sense. Then I just got a message from our city councilman, Mike Yanero.
Uh-oh.
He asked me to give out his email, which I'll put in the links here also, for anyone who has concerns about the tax rate. It's myanero@jacksonvillenc.gov. I will put that in the links for everybody.
Spelling Yanero is YANIERO. Again, that's
Right.
YEN.
No, YAN.
YANIERO.
Right. M for Mike, and then his last name YANIERO at jacksonvillenc.gov. He said he wants to hear from the citizens. And then we had Commissioner Bennett text and say Discovery Gardens, Farmers Market, Master Gardeners, the Ag Extension, your tax dollars at work.
Yay. I tell you what, that Discovery Garden and the farmer's market, of course, is there. Farmer's market, they get local produce and they even had some plants in there the other day, but they got local produce that, it's not picked before it's ripe and sits on shelves and ripens in trucks on the way to the stores. So much of the stuff that that the grocery stores get, so much of it is not done locally. It's shipped in. It may be shipped in from California in big boxes, and it's green when it's picked. Tomatoes are green when they're picked. And then they ripen in the back of a truck on the way over across country or somewhere in the store or wherever. It's one of the reasons if you buy a watermelon from any of these stores, let it sit on your shelf for at least 3 days and let it sweeten up a little bit. In natural environment, like you're inside of your house, not in a refrigerator. Because they ship them under refrigeration, and they keep them in the stores refrigerated until they put them on the shelves or in a big box outside. Okay.
I don't know. I've never seen it, but I'm growing my own.
Watermelons?
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try
Oh,
again.
good. Let me
I
know.
did one year, and I got one, and it got to. I see. I didn't know when to
You have
pick
nice
it.
melons.
And anyway, it rotted before it.
So you had rotten melons. That
Yes.
happens.
I was the only one.
I had that with the cantaloupe last year.
I want some of the sugar babies
'Cause I let 'em
that
sit there
Steve
too long.
talks about. Yeah,
I
Well-
don't know how to grow that stuff.
well,
It doesn't work for me.
I'm going to go to the beach and get some sand when nobody's looking, and I'm going back and put that in my soil. Just kidding.
You can do that. Well, you can also go to the big box stores and buy bags of it, builder sand.
Yeah, but it's not the same as having the salty sand from the beach.
You want the stuff to grow in salt?
It's the sand. I mean, where do
That
you
way
think
you won't
the
have to put watermelon.
bogue melons come from? They're
Well,
out
that
there
sand is way
in
out
that
there washed out.
sandy, salty soil.
No, it's not salty.
Steve, tell them it's got
not-
sand in the
It's not
soil.
salty.
It's got sand in the soil. It's got salt.
It's not salty.
No, I mean,
Pick it up and taste it and see if it's salty.
what, the sand?
Yeah.
Sand in my mouth.
In the sand in your shoes. Archaeologists have pinpointed the exact location of the so-called Spanish Roanoke, a doomed colony
Shoot.
that collapsed within years after they uncovered a single coin that helped confirm the site was actually there. We're talking about there up on Roanoke Island. Spanish Roanoke, they call it. The lost colony, whatever you want to call it. The archaeologists have pinpointed the exact location of it. With this one coin, it was a piece of 8, they call. Remember those coins, Spanish pieces of 8? This was a Spanish location. Silver coin. It was a real.
Can we go dive?
No, it's on land. They dug it up.
Oh,
Commonly used in the Spanish Empire. So
that's-
there was a Spanish settlement along with the English settlement there, same area.
wow.
Pictures of more than the 400-year-old coin show it has an irregular hand-cut shape, which it does. That's what they cut. That's what they did.
I see it.
They didn't do it.
I
It
see
wasn't
it,
nice
yes.
round press or anything else. Typical of early Spanish colonial minting. I'm sorry. They're called port famine, one of the most tragic and mysterious colonial experiments in the Americas. So, we had the lost colony there, right? In
Correct.
that area.
Yes. Yes.
But up on the Roanoke, further up, that's where this was. And they had been saying that it's been there for years. I've heard this for years and years and years. So a group from, where were they from? They were some of the South American countries, I think. I'll find out in a minute. We're working on it. That's where well, golly, I had read this earlier. Chile.
Chile.
It's Chilean National Museum of Natural History is running this thing. So they're out of Chile, the archaeologists. That's pretty cool.
That is
They
pretty
found
cool.
something to prove that it was there.
Hey, real quick before we leave for the day, special thanks to Councilman Yaniro and Commissioner Royce Bennett for always sending us information
And reaching out to
and
the public.
reaching out to us, to reach out to the public and letting us know what's going on. I really appreciate
Yeah,
that.
we do appreciate that.
Yes, we do.
A happy belated birthday now, but we couldn't do it yesterday because it wasn't, we weren't on
Right.
the air, but to our oldest daughter. She is celebrating her birthday and taking some time with a good friend of hers, I think her best
Her
friend ever,
bestie.
a Brown,
Mm-hmm.
Lisa Brown. But
Right.
anyway, they're hiding in a location
Good for them.
without internet, without cell service, and all
Good
that
for
sort of good
them.
stuff. At least that's what I told her yesterday before she left, and I thought she was going to have a meltdown without telephone service.
She'll be fine.
Anyway,
After the
they've got-
first 24 hours and you go through the shakes, you'll be fine.
She's fine. They've got
Yes.
service there, but
Yes.
I wanted to see her just shake and cringe, but she's glued.
But
to,
I hope they're
she's
having
glued
a
to her cell
wonderful
phone.
time. I sent her a happy birthday yesterday.
Yeah, thank you.
So
And she's being
She's
the
well.
eldest. Being the eldest, that's the way it is,
well, they're both those girls, those ladies being Rayford. Be
Well-
giving away secrets. both those ladies are wonderful ladies, and I hope they're having a great time.
Yeah, they're having a blast,
Wonderful.
no doubt about it. And I'm sure we'll hear all about it. She's got a fishing pole, so she's on a lake.
Oh,
So it'll work. It'll work just fine. Okay,
All right.
we'll be back tomorrow. We got anybody yet?
not yet, but
Well,
we should.
Does anybody
We
want
probably
to?
will.
Anybody want to come on talk? Come on, bring it on. We want to hear from you. Maybe we'll just call Donnie Cox. Call him and let him know we're going to call him tomorrow.
He can call us.
Well, give him the number to call us so we can talk to him tomorrow about Weather Wednesdays.
I had him. I had
Weather
his
Radio
number
Wednesday.
somewhere. Let's see that. Yes, we'll do that. We'll do that.
Send him a note or tell him to call in.
And I've got to get a hold of dealing with the post office, because if I'm not mistaken, I do believe next weekend, or it could be this weekend, they have the food drive, but I've not seen a thing on it. So I'll call him, and we need to get him back on.
Yeah, we do.
So anyway, we have lots of people that we've been talking to. Lots of people want to come on. It's just a matter of scheduling. There's just so much going on. Saturday there was so many events, it was impossible to get to them all.
Mm-hmm. Now you're going to read stories. Everybody, anybody who was anywhere nearby the stuff on Saturday night, they're coming out of the
Right.
closet. They've been hiding in their closets. Somebody who was had the hotel room next to the shooter
Oh, Lord.
is sharing his chilling account.
Oh,
And he
gosh.
claims there were lapses in security.
Oh, my
Yada, yada,
goodness.
yada. So maybe next time they would just put the National Guard out in outside every room or outside the hallways of everybody, every room. Nobody can leave the rooms. You're all confined to quarters.
Well,
Did they like that?
This reminds me of the year that this is when I was GOP chairman and got a phone call. You need to set something up. Tom Tillis is going to be in town tomorrow, and we need to set a lunch and invite the public. I'm like, what? So anyway, we did that. We had a big room at Sturgeon City,
Mm-hmm.
and we had lunch there. And and this was during COVID.
Oh my!
And all the congressmen and senators were required by Congress to wear the mask
Yep.
when they were out in public. So he comes in, he's wearing the mask. Most everybody in there's wearing a mask. When he got up to speak, which was behind a podium and it was roped off, he took off his mask to speak. That was on a Tuesday. Wednesday, he'd gone back to D.C. that night. Wednesday, he was diagnosed with COVID.
Oh boy!
I'm not even going to begin to tell you how many people were putting on social media. Thank you all for your concern. I've been tested and I don't have COVID after having lunch with Senator Tillis. And I'm like, what? I mean, is that not a little crazy?
Yeah, it was.
I do want to bring to mention real quick. Lawrence Brown. He's on the show of the 5 in the morning. But he was at the event Saturday night. I like Lawrence Brown. Anyway, it's something he said that stuck with me, and you're going to relate to this. The worst thing about a gun-free zone is instinctively going for your firearm, and he's a special deputy now, and later realizing it isn't there. That was last night.
That was me.
That was
me
Saturday. But I wanted
Sorry.
to mention that. But yeah, he's a special deputy.
If you've ever been in those kinds of, if you've ever carried
Right.
one for a living, ever been a cop, you're going to reach for your gun.
Yes.
Okay, that's just nature.
Well,
Oh.
I didn't worry about it because I know there's plenty of guns around me Saturday. But when that thing fired up, I was just anyway,
Mm.
sounds of freedom.
A North Dakota, state representative and the pilot of
Oh,
a small
yes.
plane were killed
Mm.
after the plane crashed shortly after takeoff Saturday near Crystal Airport in a Minneapolis suburb. Representative Liz Coney, a Democrat out of Fargo, North Dakota, was identified as one of the 2 people killed when the Beech F-33 Alpha went down in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, and caught fire.
Did you see that video of the crash?
I did not.
Ugh. It was terrible. Yep.
So anyway, I don't know whether she had a family or not.
I don't know either.
But Apparently well liked, very liked state representative.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's all we've
Okay.
got here.
Let's see, everybody. Any meetings to any? No city council. No county tonight. No.
Well,
So
then, in that case, we're safe for another week or so.
right.
Taxes are being discussed now. They're sort of waiting a little bit as long as they can
Right.
to see what happens at the state level, to
Right.
see if the property evaluations will be put on hold. Those recent increases that we're pretty well all suffering from. Our homes are worth more than we think that they're worth, and if they're worth that much, and the tax rate stays the same, we will pay more taxes.
Well, I will tell you that I did talk to Mayor Pro Tem Saturday morning at the event we went to, and I also talked to the mayor later that afternoon. They are going to do everything they can to reduce the rate. So you saw 60 cents proposed
What is it?
in a budget.
Everything they can. All they got to do is say, we're not going to accept that, and we'll set the rate at this. That's everything
They're going
they
to
can do.
discuss it, and they're
Okay,
going to
that's
come
all you
up
gotta
with a
do.
rate. That's what I'm saying.
That's all you got to do.
That's what they're doing, Rayford. They're going to discuss it
My
and
goodness.
figure out the best rate for everybody.
This woman just doesn't even know what's going on. Pop singer?
Why?
She went skinny dipping. She took her clothes off and went skinny dipping. And it's not even Naked Gardening Day until
What
this
is
coming
wrong
Saturday.
with that? Where was she skinny dipping at?
And somewhere, I don't know. And
Who's the pop singer?
that girl right there with the clothes on.
I can't tell with the sunglasses on. I see who it is.
Keisha, whatever her name is. Keisha went skinny dipping for Mother Nature. Kristen Cavallari is her name. Models
Well,
for her brand and cones of shame. What?
yeah.
Oh, look, pictures of her are blacked out. Why
Why does that make news?
I don't know. I
Why
don't
does
know
that
who
make
she
news?
is.
If you go skinny dipping in your backyard, do we expect to see that on the news? Please warn us.
I hope not. People will turn their TVs off. So.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, we will see you tomorrow morning.
be
You're
back
live and
tomorrow.
local, real talk, where we're awake, not woke.
That's right.
Bye now.
Bye.
Be safe.